that in every so Jay debuted in MK2, Sindel debuted in MK3. That was the only game where the two of them didn't appear together. But ever since then, they both missed MK4. They both missed MK5. They both appeared in MK6. Obviously, MK7, everybody was there, so I don't count that. They missed MKDC. They both appeared in MK9. They both missed out on MKX. And now here they are again.
This is what I'm gonna say about Jade though. Like Jade, she's not really a specialty character, but she's not necessarily a mainstay either because Jade, her story kind of goes hand in hand with Katana.
Yep.
Katana is a mainstay character, but Katana is a character, well, hold up. What I was trying to say is Jade doesn't need to be on every game with Katana.
Nah.
Katana's sidekick.
More or less. But she don't even need to be. But Katana doesn't even need a sidekick.
Like I said, you know what it is? They're basically the female Liu Kang and Kung Lao.
Kinda.
Not really, because yes, they are kind of.
Somewhat, but.
But here's the thing, though. Kung Lao, like here's Jade's whole thing. Jade's whole thing is he wants to be there to protect. Katana, this, that, and the third.
And she don't mind being in the background while Katana's out in front being the fucking queen or whatever the hell she want to be. Kung Lao desperately wants to be where Liu Kang is.
Kung Lao is a cocky bastard who doesn't train. They're friends, but he is quote unquote a side bit jealous of Liu Kang. But what has Kung Lao done outside of being Liu Kang's sidekick?
Well, I mean, he's beaten some pretty powerful characters, and then he accompanied Liu Kang.
They had too. Based on the story.
Who
was Jay beat that was top tier? Because Kung Lao is beating niggas like Taro, Shang Tsung, Quan Chi, like top niggas like that, whereas Jade isn't doing that shit.
Nah, she didn't. She beat Baraka and Shiva.
Yeah, like Katana doesn't even really beat top tier people like that until just recently when she beat Shao Kahn.
Right. That's true.
Yeah, like I said, I just don't personally, I don't get why. Personally, I just don't get. Now, like I said, even if I come from my personally, I think well, just speaking for myself, me liking the character, I think she should be on the majority of all the Mortal Kombat.
Oh, so should I. Yeah, I agree with that.
But even if I compromise and gave you all that, I see no point is why Jay shouldn't be on this. She's definitely the popular as fuck. People be mad as shit when she wasn't on there.
I agree.
Well, that's every fucking MK character ever, though. Like,
nah.
Some fans get more pissed off more than others.
Yeah, that is true.
Matter. Like everybody's got that. That doesn't really matter though. That's all subjective based off of who's wanting that character on the game. Every MK fan is gonna be somewhat ravenous over their character.
Mm-hmm.
Niggas like us. Everybody has let me make my point. If niggas like me and Britain don't get Sub-Zero,
yeah, it's a problem. Yeah.
They have to go way out of their way to explain why he's not there, and then like the way we were looking at it. Hold on, goddamn. And then the way you said what? No reason will be good enough to go Britain. We don't know that. We don't fucking know that. For Britain. Now, if you would have set up and let me finish my point, what I was gonna say is that if they were ever to leave somebody like Sub-Zero off of the game, they would have to first go out of their way to explain why the fuck this nigga's not there.
Right.
But I feel as though if they did something like that, they would spend more time trying to explain why the nigga's not there, and then we'd be looking at it more so like, okay, y'all had to do all this shit just to say the nigga ain't there instead of giving us a good
instead of just putting him in the fucking game. Now there are possible ways they could explain Sub-Zero not being there. Like let's say
Right.
Raiden dies and Liu Kang is the ultimate whatever, and
I'm gonna get 3 more.
if they sit there and say, oh, Sub became an elder god or something, or that could be a reason.
Right.
Or they could be like, well, Sub-Zero is training new recruits or whatever the fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like he's running the Lin Kuei, and then maybe one of the new recruits of the Lin Kuei is the kind of the Sub-Zero character now.
Right.
They could do that.
Because it's not. I mean, it's not like they don't have other cryomancers. I mean, this nigga has a whole ninja clan full of niggas that are cryomancers. So I don't
Right.
see why they, couldn't introduce a character. The thing is with a character like Sub, before they replace him, they have to introduce a new nigga that's gonna take up the mantle.
Yeah, they do.
For that shit to make sense.
Yep. And they would probably rather, yeah. Well, I'll put it like this: Jade doesn't really drive the main events of the MK storyline.
Right. She's a supporting role.
Right.
And I think that's fine. She can be a supporting role and still be on the Mortal Kombat game, but there's plenty of characters like that.
Well, we never said that she couldn't be.
Yeah.
Because all I'm saying is, there's so many characters that are so popular amongst this franchise, like it would be impossible to put them all on every single MK.
It's true.
Because niggas would sit there and be like, well, Ermac should be a staple because,
Or Smoke should be a staple, and Reptile should be a staple.
Well, personally, I feel that those ninjas all should be a staple. I'm not even an Ermac or Reptile player. But Scorpion on this game, Mortal Kombat, the lore, Ermac, Reptile, Scorpion should be on every Mortal Kombat.
Well, here's the problem with having them in every MK. A lot of them don't drive the main storyline either. Especially not Reptile and Ermac. Them niggas were glorified henchmen.
They get buried in the story.
Well, I mean, even when they're not being buried, they're still henchmen for the most part, except for MK Deception, where
Both of them are fucking lackeys.
yeah,
You just said they're henchmen.
yeah,
But here's the thing: somebody has to be delegated to that role.
right.
Somebody does.
And if you're gonna have a big emperor trying to take over Earth, he needs a fucking ton of henchmen.
Right.
That character needs a lot of support niggas to come through and be like, hey, nigga, you need to help me with this shit.
You know what I mean? You take your pick, but I don't think both of them should be fucking jobbers.
I mean, I'm not saying that they should always be jobbers, but, there definitely is a need for jobbing.
Right.
Yeah, there's certainly a need for it. And so that's why they're in the position that they're in, because, you kind of need it. But,
right.
To your point about Sindel and Jade being staple characters, I mean, if they would do that for someone like Jade, they're gonna have to make her more important by giving her a bigger role.
Well, it looks like they're on their way in due. I will hope. But
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know.
Well, hell, I think that's bad. They're not going to make her a staple, a main factor or a staple because she's black.
Shit.
Okay,
Jackson's a fucking staple.
Yeah.
He's a staple because he's literally the only black dude on the game. You gotta have some color bearer on there.
I ain't gonna say all that, because they have other black male characters like Cyrax, Kai, Darius.
We knew he was black.
Huh?
Way back. That nigga was from Africa.
Yeah. And then
White people are from Africa, right?
no, but even if you go back and play, the nigga had dreads and had an accent. He looked like Kofi.
And then not only that, here's the saying
Nah,
go
bruh.
out of their way to make this character from Africa just to then say he's white.
Nah, it don't make no
Let's
sense,
be
bro.
honest here.
Nah,
Okay,
and that nigga the same skin color as me.
outside of side race, even though even though
I
Drake
just
got
screwed the black man.
Yeah, I guess technically. Yeah, so you have Kai, you have Darius, you now have Gearus.
And then Gearus, here's the thing about Gearus. Gearus was a huge role in the storyline.
Right.
Basically was he could have killed Liu Kang and Kung Lao
Well,
early
yeah,
story
yeah,
if he wanted to.
times are changing now when they get more black characters. I'm talking about back in the day.
Yeah, back in the day it was Kai and Darius.
Of course, they getting black characters out there. It's not that the times are changing.
Well, we ain't really getting a whole bunch of what the fuck? We ain't getting niggas out of the ass like that, but still.
Well, like I said, more black people are coming on these fighting games now. Like I said, you got Ray's been there, but you got Gearus, you got Jacqueline, you got Kola Khan because Kola Khan's black.
He is black.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm saying, that's what I'm saying. Back in the day, you didn't have that many black characters.
I mean, you still don't really have that many, but they did exist.
Well, of course, you don't have you still don't have as many as we want, but it's definitely more than what it used to be back in the day.
Yeah, I mean, but still, like, it's not like they.
But that's my point, though. That's why Jax is was going to stay on the damn Mortal Kombat game. Because at one time he was the only main black dude. You may have had like little here black character here and there, but he was the only black staple Mortal Kombat character, literally.
Yeah, I mean, but he also, was part of the special forces and, Sonya's direct commander and shit like
Yeah,
that.
but that's what I'm saying. That's still my point. That Jack was a lonely nigga, though.
Yeah, he was.
So
Well, any nigga was gonna be lonely
Back
though.
then, though,
Yeah,
they had very few staple characters back then.
right.
Because they were just developing the game for the first time.
Not to mention a lot of staple, quote unquote, staple characters had missed games.
Hasn't Jack done all of them?
No,
yeah, he has.
no, he hasn't. He missed. He missed Deception. Obviously, he wasn't an MK1 because he hadn't been introduced yet. So he missed.
Yeah, we're talking about since he came into the picture.
Okay, so
How many games he missed?
he's missed probably like 2 or 3 because he missed Deception and he missed MKDC.
No, he was in DC.
Oh yeah, that is right. Never mind. You're right. Yeah, he was in that game. Yeah, he was in that. Yeah, so he didn't miss too many actually.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, he was. He was bald headed and shit. He was a bald head.
He was bald with, yeah.
That nigga looked like Havoc from Mobb Deep.
I don't want to count that game. But my main
Well, we have to.
On the characters, I personally would be amazed if they gave a black story mode wise if they gave a black character a main fact and they did something amazing in story because usually they're either the sidekick, the homegirl, the best friend, I mean.
Well, I mean, well, here's the thing.
I mean, you literally don't, based on the new games, and I'm gonna say this, I'm giving you Brittany, based on the new games, the only black character that's had a big role has been Kola Khan.
I ain't gonna say all that because Jax had a
Outside of Kola Khan.
nah, because Jax had a pretty big impact in this game too. I mean,
Oh, being a drunk?
listen, here's the thing. I mean, I know you can't stand it, but he had a really good reason to be fucking despondent. He just lost his wife, and then his daughter's gone, and he has no idea how to get to her.
Right.
So, and that's showing complexity, and it also shows the seeds for how Kronika is able to deceive him and get him on her side. He was the only good guy that defected to Kronika because he didn't want to, he's trying to prevent certain outcomes from happening and prevent his suffering and shit like that.
This is what I'm gonna say about the Jack shit. Now, I don't like the execution of how it was done, but what they were going for was fine. because when you think about it, you know, the way Jax is feeling towards joining Chronica, it's not even just about the fact that, you know, he lost everything, he was a revenant, you know, he didn't know where Jackie was at. This all happened under the leadership of Raven.
It's true.
And Chronica's main objection was to get rid of this nigga to create this, you know, quote unquote perfect world.
Right.
So it made sense for the nigga to defect over to that side.
It
It
did.
would have made a lot more sense for a lot of niggas to do that because you think about it, under Raiden's, you know, protection, and I'm using, you know, air quotes on that, a lot of niggas got fucked up.
Right.
You know, those weren't his intentions for the shit to happen, but it happened.
Right.
So
Yeah, exactly.
I
So
don't blame that. Like I said, the execution is what really fucked it up. And that's just all because NetherRealm writers are not that good.
right. But him being a drunk, you know, or him not even being a drunk, he drank. Like it'd have been different in one scene. Yeah, exactly. Now if he was getting fucked up in all kind of different scenes, then we could say he's a goddamn drunk. But Raicho's a goddamn drunk
By choice.
by choice. Jax drank.
On that. Now, like I said, I don't know much about Bo Raicho, but in my opinion, he's only been in one game, and really, if you want to count that, he was DLC. Well, no, he wasn't there.
Nah, he was in several games.
Not much.
He was on Deadly Alliance and Deception before coming back to
I
X.
don't remember those like that.
But he was there though.
But anyway, it looked like his drinking is going to affect him. As a matter of fact, it looked like his drinking works for him. But anyway, I'm just going by what I've seen. Now y'all tell me about if I'm full of shit by saying that. You like when he drinks, that helps him, make him even fight better. But anyway, I get what y'all saying, but even still, even if I gave y'all that literally based on X and this game right here, being as a black character, no one has done better than Kotal Khan.
I disagree because obviously his daughter was one of the damn combat kids that basically saved the.
Oh yeah, yeah, but she was a sidekick to Cassie.
So.
But that's my point.
But he also he also defected.
Your point is that you want a black person to actually be the main character.
Not even be a main character, but do something great of importance and be a main factor in the story.
Her and Nikita sat there and held off the whole fucking alliance. Not the alliance.
Her and Takeda. She needed help.
Well, she ain't supposed to do it by herself. It don't make no sense.
Exactly. She held off a fucking army.
It doesn't make no sense. That's my point.
Nah.
Nigga, you have no point.
Bruh.
That Kotal has been the most successful, based on these new games, not period, but based on these new gen games.
Y'all Jackie, what the fuck did Kotal actually do?
You ain't bullshitting.
Except be a hindrance to Earth.
When he took control and became Khan, he completely changed Outworld.
Yeah, changes.
How? What did he do?
I mean, he made it less cruel, but then we all saw that he then turned around and first and foremost, he had the fucking Tarkatans and them pissed off at him. And they were like, man, fuck that nigga. We don't care that he got captured. Katana had to broker that goddamn peace. And then when his ass got paralyzed by Shao Kahn, you know, I mean, not really. I mean, the nigga ain't that. He was a soldier that, you know, he had a good heart, and so that makes him a good leader, but that don't mean that nigga was ready to be a goddamn Khan of Outworld.
Right.
But if anything, Katana did more important shit than goddamn Kotal. And Jax did more important shit than Kotal over the course of the whole goddamn history.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm not talking about course, I can't compare Kodo to Jax in the entire history of Mortal Kombat.
No, I said Jax. No, I said Jax. But I'm talking about even, yeah. But I'm not comparing Jax's entire history because I'm talking about over the history of the past two games. No, I'm talking about over the course of the two games that they share. Jax was more important. Jax was one of the characters that became an unrevenant from Quan Chi along with Sub-Zero and Scorpion. You know, he obviously fought alongside the Netherrealm army and then turned around and helped capture Quan Chi. So that's important. Obviously, his daughter went on to be one of the damn combat kids. So that's important. Then in the events of MK11, you know, he defects over to Kronika and helps her obtain the goddamn crown.
Let me ask a question. And I'm not making this. I'm here to ask you a question. Should you even put that as a notch on Jack's belt as a pro?
What?
Him about his daughter, about his daughter joining special forces when he didn't want her to.
Yeah, he trained her.
It actually, yeah, that, and it also helps the story move forward.
Right.
It also, because here's the thing, like Jack having a daughter doesn't just affect Jack. It affects Johnny Cage, Cassie Cage, Sonya, like all of these main characters who are playing a pivotal role into the storyline.
Right. Anything that Jackie does.
I got the wrong variation.
Well, get out of that variation.
No, I'm talking about the previous match.
Oh. Yeah, but like anything that Jackie does invariably kind of adds notches to Jax's belt too because he trained her. He probably gave her she did everything he did, you know what I'm saying? Because she looked up to him and shit. You know what I mean? Like, he's got technology on him. She's got technology too.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like.
And then if nothing else, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh no, go ahead.
If nothing else, you know, Jax is kind of like basically, you know, kind of like a what's the word that I'm looking for?
What, like a juggernaut?
He's kind of like a what am I trying to say? I'll think about it. It's gonna come back to me. Basically, Jackie can look at Jax and all the mistakes he made, and it thereby default makes her a better character. Like
right. Oh, a role model sort of set. Yeah.
Well, yeah, that goes without saying. You know,
yeah, or probably as an example or something like that.
Right. Right.
Yeah. So, but whether we call them pros or not, it's still important to the story, which is the point that we were making. Kodo hasn't been more important to the story than Jax.
Right.
Over the past two games.
He just had a more important title.
Yeah, he had a more important title, yeah. Right. But still, like... Oh, Jesus Christ. You did try. You tried some of my shit. It's great. But, nah, but I'm not going to sit there and say that they wouldn't, you know, make somebody really important because they black. Like, nah, they're not Nintendo. Like, this is NRS. They're not Nintendo.
Right.
Nintendo literally doesn't have any fucking black characters in none of their games. Except goddamn, Punch Out or whatever the fuck. But the writers fuck up characters all the time, so if they're gonna fuck up basically all the white characters, a lot of the good characters, a lot of the cool ninjas, the beasts and the savages, they gonna definitely fuck up the black characters' storylines too.
Right.
Or at least
I think these are the same These are the same writers that sat there and said, let's have Deborah kill Scorpion.
Yeah, that was bullshit, bro.
How smart was that?
That was some bull ass shit, bro.
I agree with that. That was dumb. I firmly agree with that.
Yeah, that was bull ass shit, bro.
I say everybody avoided that with Melina, but yeah.
They should have had Noob do it. That would have made fucking sense, and then it would have meant something for him to come back.
It would have.
Yeah.
That's the thing too. That you said it right. I'm getting out of this by the way, but that always kind of bothers me how Bihan just kind of let it go, where it's like, yeah, Scorpion kills me, but I don't care. I mean, it's not like I don't have a vendetta against him.
Yeah, like, that's fucking dumb. Like, my nigga, let him come back. Let him still think of Scorpion as incompetent. You know what I mean? Like, nigga. Let that nigga do some shit. You know what I mean? Like, come on.
If anything, he should have been as menacing and imposing as he was in the Mortal Kombat movie.
Agreed.
And he, like you said, he should have been the one to take out Scorpion if they were going to have somebody do it. Then it would have came full circle.
Right.
Wiley Ing would have been on some shit like, fuck that. You killed my real goddamn brother, so fuck you.
Right. Yes, exactly. Exactly. And so now Sub-Zero's forced to choose between his brother and, this person that he adopted as his brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, dude, that's how you do it. That's how you do a story like that.
Right.
But no, they'd rather have Devora do it. Which is stupid.
Don't even know what the goddamn hive is or the Kaizen.
We don't know shit.
It's bad they don't have good records. Like I said before, I totally agree with y'all here. No business killing Scorpion.
No.
But she is a very unique.
She is unique. Yeah. Oh, undoubtedly. Well, I definitely think she has all kinds of potential and shit like that. She has all kinds of potential. So I have no issue with her being in the game and her doing the things that she does in terms of being deceptive and all that.
Right. She, to me, like when I hear this whole hive mentality shit, I kind of think of like a character like a Brainiac.
Right.
Where it's like, one colony, one hive, like-mindedness and shit. She can have like fucking the ability to have her, whatever the hell her race is, the Kai
Right.
bug shit, like infect people and fuck with
Yeah, like she should be, and she should be powerful. I don't have no problem with her being powerful. But they didn't really establish. I mean, they kind of did, but not really.
Ain't established shit. And I will say this until I'm blue in the face. NRS writers need to watch anime.
I agree.
They need to just take a lot of shit from anime. Good anime, let me say that.
Yeah, there are some bad anime.
There are. Because the thing is with anime is these niggas, they will sit there and spend a whole goddamn arc on developing one goddamn nigga and
Right.
establishing what this motherfucker can and cannot do. They establish lore about this individual, and I ain't even talking about just main characters either. They'll do this shit with whoever.
Everybody, right.
Right. And then, like, especially with main villains, a lot of times in anime art, you won't even beat the nigga in the first goddamn, go around. It's like this nigga is meant to be something that you have to catch up to.
Right.
You have to work your ass off to even come close to it. And then when you finally do beat this motherfucker, It took everything. It took the help of your friends. It took
Right.
all sorts of shit.
You had to lose an arm and shit.
Exactly.
Yeah. And that makes sense. That makes sense.
Right.
Especially for someone like Shao Kahn, nigga. You should have to suffer heavy losses in order to fight Shao Kahn.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, hell yeah.
But they don't know how to really do that. I can't wait for your ass to play God of War. Cause this nigga, he does not. Because Kratos,
Oh my god.
the thing is with a nigga like Kratos, without giving too much away about this nigga,
Right.
they did exactly what the fuck we're talking about with this character. They showed what his limits were, and eventually, through time, he eventually overcame those limits. And then in the sequel, I'm not gonna talk about what happened there, but like in the sequel, he was basically damn near all powerful, but they found a way to kind of, adjust why he wouldn't just run through every goddamn body.
Right.
And then
Exactly.
you had to kind of build your way back up to it, but like that nigga, man, man.
Right. Listen. But that's how it's supposed to be.
Right. And then even Ghost of Tsushima was another example of that shit. That nigga ran up on Colton Khan and this nigga pushed him off a bridge.
Right, exactly.
Like, nigga,
Like,
get your ass out of here.
with that bullshit.
That was pretty dumb.
Oh, motherfucker.
Well, to be fair, this
He
nigga, he
wasn't even at 100% when he went to fight that dude.
It's true.
But I mean, he still had Lord Shimuru's teachings in him about the honorable samurai.
Right, running up on
Like,
niggas.
he wanted to, but that's what made that story so special, because it's like he had to unlearn everything that he was taught from birth in order to save
Right.
his home.
Exactly. It's true. It's very true. So you saw growth in this character.
Right. Which is why I can't stand it. I'm gonna go into your territory a little bit, Brittany.
What up?
When goddamn teachers and shit be sitting there like, okay, you have to solve this math problem this specific way.
Right.
This is the way I want you to do the shit.
That is the dumbest thing.
It is dumb.
It is dumb.
And
You have something that would literally fail a student if they solve a math problem, but they solve it in a different way. What the fuck is that?
Now, I'll say this. It makes sense if you want to see if the individual can do it your way. Like, just so they know how to do it, that's fine. But to sit there and be like, no, every single time it will be done my way. Like, no, fuck.
Right, that's bullshit.
Because first things first, and this is something I do, but just as being a store manager now, like, you have to sit there and learn about like all the different adult learning styles and shit.
Yeah.
And like how motherfuckers process information.
Yeah. Niggas do shit different.
The same way.
Right.
Right.
It's true.
It don't make no fucking sense to sit there and try to force a certain way on an individual or try to teach somebody a certain type of way when they're all about another way.
Right. Yeah, it's true. I mean, people don't use your life. They don't use your, learning style. And, you're not going to use their learning style. And even if you do have the exact same learning style, people learn at different rates. They have different background knowledge. All that shit changes the way that and the pace that people learn at.
And then again, the biggest thing is this too. People process information differently.
Right.
Like the way that you view something, that's just why, it's just like, saying everybody has the same fucking opinion you do. That's wrong.
No, they
Everybody
don't.
looks at shit completely different, and there are multiple different ways to tackle a problem or a situation. So you can't expect the motherfuckers to do that shit. I don't know how the fuck we got here, but yeah.
Yeah. Oh shit,
Yeah,
good shit.
definitely some better writers though.
Yeah, they need
Y'all fucking
some.
the hell?
Nah, I'm playing Combat League to try to keep my damn keep my shit.
Rock.
Yeah, well, I'm about to jump on because I got a lot of shit to play.
Alright.
Yes sir.
Peace out, motherfucker.
Peace out, motherfucker. Come on.
But I give up. I give up this debate. It wasn't a debate. You lost.
No, I ain't gonna say I lost.
I disagree.
I don't think I lost.
Me and Britain beat you.
Jesus Christ.
No,
You have been heavily
we
defeated.
just beat me. We just followed along like a fast kid.
Hell nah. Oh my god, motherfuck. Nigga.
I started playing the Tomb Raider game.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
That game's awesome.
The only reason I'm not playing on PC is because from Plus I had the second and third games already in my library from way back in my way past. So I just went ahead and just bought the 5 version of the first game, and I started going through that cheat.
Oh, okay. Yeah, those games are awesome.
They are. I remember, and I actually surprisingly remember a lot of this first Tomb Raider because I played it through. Yeah, and then I just stopped. I don't know
Damn.
why the fuck I stopped.
Yeah, that game's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, that Shadow of the Tomb Raider is the one.
That's the third one. That's that third one.
That one is the one.
Fifth one. Fifth one.
The other ones are good too,
Yeah,
but that third one is the shit.
One thing I can say about in that's why another reason why I say I prefer them more than the Uncharted. Each game outdid the other one.
I
Mm-hmm.
can't speak on the other two, obviously, since I didn't play them.
Yeah.
I will say this, though, compared to Uncharted, this is more of a main thing because you didn't play the Uncharted. I can see them being, almost identical. So I'm not really gonna, I'm not really gonna judge the other ones too much yet. I mean, obviously, story that's a different scenario. I gotta play through the story to see what I think about it.
Like I say, it's just a different game. So yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Right. I'll say this for right now: the hand-to-hand combat I wouldn't say injustice. Uncharted is a little bit better, at least right now. I don't know what it's going to be like in the second 2 games,
Mm-hmm.
but I really do like hand-to-hand combat.
Yeah, there's not much of that to speak of in Laura Croft because she's not no hand-to-hand nigga like that.
Right. No, I get that.
Law Croft is more like a clever stealth.
She got to survive.
Yeah.
And like I said, it makes sense. Like I said, most people she has these big enough dudes who can literally kill her. So
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not taking that away from her. I'm just saying, just like directly comparing the two.
Yeah.
Like I do thoroughly.
Law Croft is not Navy.
No, she's not.
Yeah, she's an archaeologist.
Well, when those drugs come on PC, great. I recommend you play those.
When what comes on PC?
When the Uncharted do.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's how all this bullshit started. Because we was talking about fucking God of War going to PC, which is a terrific thing.
Oh no, I never said it was a bad thing.
No, I know that, but you're like, dude, that's one of their exclusives. That's their main exclusive. Why should it go to PC? And it's like, why not?
Like I said, because of the deal with Sony, they're still just making some money.
Yeah.
what I was saying earlier is like not a lot of people have PC. Like PC gaming is like a kind of a niche thing.
Yeah,
Like
still
the
at this point, yeah.
majority of right, the majority of people who game on consoles. So elitists like myself in Britain, we have both.
I
Right.
think that's changing though. I think
It will.
people are I think it's that's one thing. I don't think it's what while it used to be that way, but I think
I mean, it's
What's it
still like
now?
that now.
I think more people are going to be getting PCs and shit.
Yeah, yeah,
Well,
they
here's the
are
thing.
with the Steam
A lot
Deck.
of people
Especially,
can't.
probably even more now, especially since it is still hard to get a PS5 and an Xbox X.
It's
Well,
true,
here's the
but
thing though. Like a lot of people are ignorant to the fact that PC gaming is so much more superior than consoles that it's ridiculous. And
yeah,
also, a lot of people can't afford a good PC.
right. That's
Like they
true.
can't just go out and just buy some bullshit. Like you have niggas who are still bullshitting about the price of PS5 being $500. Like
Right.
nigga, if you think
But
you
that
gonna
is
get,
dumb. That is dumb.
Yeah.
well, it ain't even about that.
No, I get that, but I'm actually surprised that the PS5 and Xbox was. I thought it was going to be way more than 500. That's how much the four was when they first came out.
Right. And if you spent $500 on a
For the
PC, you're
four,
gonna get a goddamn. You're gonna get a damn shit
A
box.
notebook.
Yeah.
You go
Basically,
get one of them damn notebooks
real
to
talk.
do college work in.
Yeah, you're not gonna spend no $500 and get a 4K 120 hertz nothing from no
oh, I agree with you
PC.
there. I agree with you there. I just don't get what y'all was saying about the console. I don't get what people was bitching about PS5 and Xbox systems being $500 when the
I
day
can
when
kind
the
of see it though, and
I
I'm gonna
don't.
tell you why.
No,
No, hold
no,
on.
no,
Let me
no,
let me
no, no,
let
no,
me
no.
make my let me
Wait,
make
wait,
my
wait,
case.
wait. Well, let me
Let
say,
me make my case.
let me say this first. Let me say this very quick though. When you first got your PS4, wasn't that $500?
And it wasn't worth it.
Mm.
That's my whole point. Because
Huh.
here's the problem. This is mainly a Sony thing more than a Microsoft thing. These niggas don't offer backwards compatibility.
Yep.
These niggas barely have a fucking web browser.
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
nigga, there's a lot of shit that these consoles are missing
Yep.
that fucking Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 had.
That's true.
So, I mean, I get
And
the
you have all that shit
perspective.
natively on PC.
Right. Now, again, this isn't even a PC and console debate right now,
Right, right, right.
but
Definitely.
like for people, who are having an issue with those prices, I totally get it for that, for those reasons. Not because they're being cheap or anything, but if you're looking at the specs, it's like, yeah, this shit is gonna perform better, but like it can't even do the basic shit,
Right.
like
Absolutely.
nigga.
And then, to piggyback off of the earlier point, of PC hopefully becoming more accessible, the reason why it's not all that accessible now is because you don't even know what to get. If you're somebody that's uninitiated in the PC world and doesn't know shit about computers, how would you even know what to buy for a PC, for your first PC?
Well, that's why you do your research before you go out there and buy it. You gotta do your research.
I mean, of course, but there's no brand that you can point to and say, hey, look,
Everybody
buy
just say,
that.
"Oh, I got some money. I'm gonna go to the store and get me a PC."
Yeah, but no one's going to do.
Hold
But
on.
here's the thing, people don't do research on the specs of the PS5. Like, they just know it's
But that's like
Sony and
me. When I
PlayStation.
get some money, that's like me. When I get some money, if I get some money, who I'm like, oh, I have money. Brittany and Wallace have PC. I'm gonna go get. I'm gonna surprise them and say, hey, y'all, I got me a PC. Don't tell y'all nothing. Don't get no type of information. That's just
But
dumb.
that's a little bit different. Here's the thing.
How?
Let me finish. Here's the thing about research. If you don't have anybody within your immediate circle who is going to be, getting something similar to what it is that you're looking for, you have no clue. And me being in sales, I know what people's research will get them.
Yes.
And it will get them fucked up
Yes, it
every
will.
single goddamn time.
Yes.
Because hold on. Let me make my point. Like niggas will literally come into the store with fucking notebooks filled with shit that they researched based off of what a nigga online told them or what a Google search will tell them.
Right.
And then by the time I'm done with them, they're like, oh my God, I was about to be fucked over. Like,
Yeah.
Okay,
That's true.
Hold on. Let me give a bonus to that. I agree with you to an extent. I'm not talking about the first group of, like in your case, good mattresses. You type in, let's see, in Google, good mattresses, and you go to the first search engine that you see, and you okay, this sounds good. I'm not talking about no food like that. And then plus,
I wasn't either.
Well, there are some idiots like that. But and then to your point, even if you don't even have, like I said, this is being a logical thinking person. Even if I didn't have you or Britt, nobody else I'm cool with or hang around my circle knows anything about a PC or computer or gaming PC. So if I didn't know you in Britain, I will go to do the next best thing. I will go to a specialist who, like you. I mean, I'm not just going to say.
And who?
That computer looks good. That computer looks good. I want that. How much is that? $500.
Right, but here's the thing about a specialist. They would have to teach you everything from scratch. Like, it's not just like buying a PC is not even like buying a whole lot of other products, because you gotta understand the language first. Like, there's a lot of terminology that you have to get your head around before you even buy some shit. Like, what's a GPU? What's a CPU? What's RAM? What's a motherboard? What's an SSD? And what's the difference between that and an HDD? What is, what does 60 hertz mean? What's 240 hertz mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you're going to have to do research, but none of that shit tells you which PC you should get.
And also another thing too is you have to go to the right specialist, because I agree. Here's the thing: if I was a scumbag, I could fuck over a lot of people in my job.
Mm-hmm.
Like, real shit. It's all about wordplay.
Mm-hmm.
And this is, I'm gonna let y'all into my world for a moment. This is how I train my recruits. I tell them they sell the customer whatever the fuck they want to sell them. Not because we trying to mislead them, but what I'm trying to teach them is that based off of your wordplay and how you put everything, you can get a customer to buy just, whatever the fuck. Now, obviously, we're going to be there to help them.
Right.
I want them to understand that I sell to my customers whatever the fuck I want to, and I'm not even bullshitting. If I don't like a product in my store, I don't fucking sell it.
Right.
My whole point for that tangent is these individuals, if you're uneducated in this thing, can then come in and say, well, sir, you shouldn't go with this because of A, B, C, and D.
Right.
And they can get you. If you're ready to spend that money, they can get your ass.
Right.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
Right, and I'll even give a more tangible example, because when Wallace went to buy his damn PC, he didn't run into a salesman that had an affinity for Dell, but he was looking between the Alienware and then the Omen that he bought now. If he talked to somebody that was partial to Dell, they could have convinced him to spend the extra money on that goddamn Alienware that he was going to spend, or that he was going to buy. The two laptops have virtually all the same components. They have the same CPU, same GPU, same RAM. If I'm not mistaken, the Alienware had a little bit more storage. I don't remember though. But
It was a little bit more storage than like the screen size was like.
Yeah, the screen was bigger too. Yeah. So the screen was bigger. The only real difference between the two, aside from the hefty price tag, was the fact that though they had the same GPU, the Alienware's GPU was clocked a couple some more watts higher. But it wasn't $500 worth more performance, though. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And if he talked to somebody, oh, what?
No, go ahead. I ain't know you was
Oh, so if he talked to somebody that was partial to Dell, they might have convinced him to get this goddamn Alienware, which he wouldn't have needed to spend them $500 extra for, and he would have had a machine that probably would have got hot as fuck, and he would have had to try to repair in a year and had a hard time doing it because that bitch gets hot as fuck and it's not easy to take apart.
And Britton, you know me. You know I don't give a fuck about
Yeah, exactly. And Wallace will spend $1 because he can do that. But it's not about spending the money, getting a particular brand. It's about, figuring out what the hell he needs out of his PC. What does he want? And spending the proper money to get it, but not spending too much dough.
Right.
And so
I agree with everything y'all saying. I'm just saying the main point is that if you don't know know your shit from the in and out, the way somebody's gonna take advantage of you, like Wallace said earlier, or you or whatever you do getting your facts or your research on if it's not to the wire of what you need and what exactly you want. I'm not just going to go out there and just get the first PC at a good price at a good staple price like a 500 or 600. I wouldn't do that.
no, I know that, but here's the thing: even if you do your research, you can still get accidentally, because here's what's going on now. So, like I was saying, the two laptops that Wallace was going to choose between, they both have the same GPU. And so, and if I'm not mistaken, don't you have a 30? You don't know, do you?
I don't know, Britton.
Jesus Christ. My nigga don't even know what he got. Oh shit. So, but anyway, that wasn't even what I was gonna say. So, so let's say Wallace has a 3070. Okay, I think you have a 3060, but I'm just gonna say for the sake of argument, it's a 3070. Okay,
Let's go with that.
so we'll say he has a 3070. Here's the problem. There's all kinds of different 3070s, and they're separated based on the wattage, how many watts they put out. Obviously, the lower the wattage, the less powerful the GPU is. And they come in, I think it's 80 watts, 90 watts, 100 watts, and then 140 for some random reason. Each one of them has a different tier of performance. But on the box of laptops or whatever, the package, it's going to say, ooh, equipped with 3070 graphics. You know what I'm saying? So you're looking at all these different laptops and you see, oh, they all have a 3070, but it doesn't tell you which wattage 3070 you got. You don't know if it's the 80 watt or the 140 watt. You know what I'm saying?
Also, another thing too, like I would have went with that laptop just because it was Alienware.
Right.
It's like,
right.
Alienware, in case you don't know, is like one of the premier gaming laptops. So, like Britton said, you have the same specs almost on these laptops. But the difference is I see this brand of Alienware, which is supposed to be a trusted brand.
And they are.
It's the same shit. Yeah, it's the same shit with my job. Like mattresses, like most niggas is gonna recognize Sealy and Serta.
Yep.
Niggas is gonna know that name. So niggas come in looking for that mattress.
Right.
I might have some shit that's even better than those, and with the same specs, or close to the same specs, but it might be
or even better.
More, slightly less.
Right. It's just like the Alien is probably I wouldn't know. I'm just saying that the Alien is probably a premier name brand that everybody knows.
Right.
But because of the fact that it's a trusted brand, you're more likely to go with that over some off shit. Because I'm not saying Omen is some off shit, but I ain't never heard of fucking Omen before I stepped in that store.
And Omen is the name of the actual product line. The PC's name is HP. You know, it's HP. You know HP. You've seen Hewlett Packard. You know, that's who they are.
Right.
You're familiar with that, but you know that the Omen is the name of their product line. But
Right.
you know, if you're not familiar with the PC shit, you don't know that there's a the HP Omen is a computer line that's been out for a minute. Blah 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know that.
And also, too, going further into that, the most recent one was with that fucking TV that me and Britton ended up getting.
Yes, sir.
Because I was about to get I forgot which one I sent you, but I was about to get something else.
It was a Samsung, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a Samsung.
Mm-hmm.
It was a Samsung. It was like $50 more than the TV that I was going to get. And like when I went in there, you know, I kind of had an idea of what I was looking for. So I asked the sales associate, I'm like, what do you recommend? So he had recommended me the Samsung. Everything sounded great. And then right as I'm about to make my decision on buying this damn TV, the LG nigga came over to me. He was like, yeah, you need some help? I'm like, you know, I'm debating on getting this one, but I was waiting for him to get done with his customer, da-da-da-da. He interjected and said, you know, that's a good choice. However, let me show you something different. So he showed me the TV that me and Britton ultimately ended up getting.
Mm-hmm.
And the bitch was like $50 less because of the sale that they had going on.
Mine was more.
I'm like, well, yeah, because you got the OLED version.
Right.
Versus the LED.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he was like, yeah, go with this. And then I was starting to ask him, you know, about Sony and shit. And this nigga, you know, you would think Sony PS5, Sony TV. Yeah, that shit is a perfect match. No, it's not.
Right.
Yeah, I know that.
Well, you know that, but the average passerby may not, though.
Yeah.
And it's not even that all their TVs suck, because they don't, because they got some good ones that would be great for gaming, but most of them are not.
Sony got some great TVs, but yeah. But here's the thing, like all of those TVs were way fucking more than, you know, the prices that I was looking at, which I could have spent money on it, yes. But it's like Britton said, I would have been paying more for essentially the same goddamn shit.
Right. And you paying more for features that you may not even use or give a fuck about.
Right. So, yeah. I know that was a bit of a tangent, but basically...
Nah, it's good, though. It's good. Yeah. But, you know, yeah, obviously you should definitely do your research and shit like that. But research alone ain't gonna necessarily be everything that you need in this PC thing, because depending on who you go to and who you talk to, the research can be sort of slanted a little bit.
Especially if you don't know what to look for.
Word.
That's the biggest thing that gets people about research. If you don't know what you should be looking for in your shit, you fuck.
And you don't even know what the fuck you want. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially for a gaming laptop, like, do you want high frames? Do you want to have the highest resolution? You know what I'm saying? Does the laptop size matter to you? Do you even want a laptop, or do you want a desktop? You know? If you're not familiar with none of that shit, what other things are you gonna do on this computer besides play games? Are you gonna possibly stream? Are you gonna, consume content on that bitch? Are you gonna be video editing on there? All that shit matters too, because it should influence the kind of decision that you make. You know what I mean? So all that shit is mad important.
Are you gonna upload the Pornhub from there?
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
On that note.
Nigga.
I gotta go to work tomorrow.
Word.
That motherfucker.
Shit. Peace out, motherfuckers. I'm gonna upload this conversation.
You should
West Side.
upload it to Pornhub.
Yes.
This dude right here.